Hey YouTubers, thanks so much for checking out our video. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Trish.
And I'm Jose.
We're with Just Dance, and in this series, we're gonna be giving you tips to improve your posture, frame, technique, musicality, and connection in common patterns in beginner salsa on 1. And in this video, we're gonna be working on frame, connection, and musicality. So let's go ahead and get to it.
Okay, in this video, we're going to be going over the crossbody lead, but first we're going to give a couple of demonstrations.
All right, so first we'll go this way. We'll show you from a few different angles. We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll go this way as well. We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and again 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. All right, so that is the crossbody lead. Going into our first tips, Jose is going to talk about frame and what you can do as a leader to improve your frame in this pattern.
All right, so my tips are in the arms and your dance position in relation to the follower. So first, I'm going to go over the dance position. So after you take that second step to get out of the slot, you're going to get into what's called a right angle position. So I'm essentially a right angle off of Trish. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the arms. So you have 1, 2. Now keep in mind that I'm keeping my left hand in line with my sternum and in line with Trish's right shoulder. Okay? So you have 1, 2. Okay. A common mistake for leaders to do is to bring their frame with them instead of leaving it behind with the follower. So you have 1, 2, 3. So right there, I brought my frame with me, and this led Trish off of her feet, leading to a unsuccessful crossbody lead. So once more, you have 1, 2, 3.
Yes. So that takes us to our next tip, which is on connection. First of all, making sure that your frame is in the right place is the first start of having good connection. But in order for it to be really good, we need to make sure that both partners have tone in their arms. I'm not talking about being rigid or stiff. I just mean like a little bit of energy so that they're not like spaghetti noodles or too tight even. So if it's one way too far or the other way too far, you're not gonna have a good connection. So we need to make sure that whenever Jose takes me into the right angle position, that as a follower right here, I'm keeping tone in my arms because I'm feeling him give me a little bit of resistance since he brought his hand towards me. It's in front of his sternum and in front of my shoulder, as he mentioned. But in order for him not to like completely collapse into my space, I need to keep tone in my arms and offer a little bit of resistance, which helps to keep our frame nice and rounded as we go into right angle position. So common mistake that followers make there is their arms are too loose, and this causes the follower to pass the leader too soon anyway. Once that happens, the leader almost loses control of leading the pattern because the follower took over. So it's very important that both partners have tone in their arms. You're offering a little bit of resistance throughout that pattern to make it really snap. And so as we finish the pattern, we'll dance through it again. 1, 2, I have tone here. What's gonna happen is he's gonna bring me across by taking his frame back to closed position. And that's what leads the follower to pass the leader and snap through that turn, making it more sharp and crisp. So again, my tip for the connection is for both dancers to make sure they're maintaining tone in their arms, not being rigid, but also not being too loose, so that you can maintain a good posture and good frame with your partner throughout the pattern. Okay, and then our last tip is in musicality. So we're gonna scoot back just a little ways so you can see our feet as well. I'm gonna count it this time so you can watch our feet and our movements with the numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so notice that I didn't do anything fancy with the counting. I kept a basic rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Keep in mind that on counts 4 and 8, even though they're silent, there is still actions happening on those numbers. And that's what I want to talk about today with the crossbody lead. This is one of the first patterns where we actually utilize those numbers with a turning action other than like underarm turns. So on 3, you're going to notice that Jose takes his side step and is going to begin the step with a bent knee, and his right hip is going to be lifted. So it looks like this, 1, 2, 3. So notice his his left knee is slightly flexed, his right hip is lifted and towards me, and my right knee is slightly flexed with my left hip up. So this is creating pressure in our hands. We have what's called compression because both of us have tone in our arms, and he's giving me that nice right angle position. But at the end of this pause, so on count 4, Jose's gonna finish his hip by taking it away, letting it swing like a pendulum. And notice I did as well, which brought my left leg, left knee through. This is creating tension in our arms. So I'm still kind of talking about connection a little bit right now too. But musically, this happens on 4 or at the end of 4 to create a nice snap and a rubber band-like elasticity. So we're through our hips stretching away from each other. From here, because of that elasticity, when Jose changes his weight to his right foot, I'm gonna snap past him and do that pivot turn. So we have 5, 6, 7. And that's what gives this pattern its really crisp and quick, clean look. So without that attention to detail on that rhythm, that 3, 4, you're going to have a little bit of a slower passing. It won't be as crisp or as clean. It won't be as eye-catching. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on your body action to really create good musicality and connection in the pattern. So we're going to dance it again so you can watch it, but this time we're gonna go slow, but we're not going to stop. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll do that again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so those were our tips for today. I'm gonna go back through and do a quick recap before we finish up, starting with Jose's tips.
Okay, so my tips were for the frame. I talked about keep that left hand in your midline and the follower's right shoulder, and when you're stepping out into that right angle position for count 2.
Yes, and then we went into connection and talked about having tone in the arms, not being rigid, but not being too loose, and trying to find some compression towards your partner and then leverage. So you're going in like a springboard and then you go away creating leverage. And then we also talked about going into our musicality. So accenting the silent beats that we're not counting. We still have body actions to help create speed and a good connection. So that's on counts 4 and 8. Even though we're still keeping our basic rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So those are our tips for today. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, as always, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get notified with the videos we post on a regular basis. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.